Situated on the high plateau of southern Africa, spanning over 700 hectares, lies one of the most debated archaeological sites in the continent's history, Great Zimbabwe, a large-scale stone architectural complex, comprising walls up to 11 meters high, and over 250 meters long, built entirely without mortar. Granite blocks were precisely stacked, forming circular walls, conical towers, and political as well as religious complexes. Great Zimbabwe is more than just a ruin. It represents the power of a kingdom that once controlled trade routes linking the African interior with the Indian Ocean coast. And it is also a place whose history was intentionally distorted by colonial narratives for centuries. Welcome back to Hidden Universe, a journey to decipher and explore the enigmatic facts that have shaped human history. The story begins around the 10th century. Across the vast savanna lands of southern Africa, Bantu-speaking communities gradually developed large-scale techniques for metallurgy, cultivation, and livestock herding. As the population grew, they began to construct centers of power, creating forms of complex social organization. Great Zimbabwe emerged in this context as the political and ceremonial heart of a rising kingdom. What made Great Zimbabwe special was not only its size, but its construction method. There was no mortar, no cement, and no supporting timber framework. The walls were erected by selecting granite blocks that had naturally fractured, and then stacking them horizontally to create stability. The stone was sourced from surrounding granite kopjes, hills, where rocks subjected to large temperature fluctuations between day and night would naturally split into flat slabs. The ancient people of Zimbabwe utilized this phenomenon, collecting the suitable slabs and transporting them to the construction site. Some walls reached a thickness of up to 5 meters. This not only provided stability but also helped distribute the gravitational load evenly. The shape of the structures indicates a building technique based on empirical experience spanning many generations. Smooth curves, gentle arches, and retaining walls were designed to withstand climate change and erosion over long periods. The Great Zimbabwe complex is divided into 3 main areas: the hill complex, the valley complex, and the most famous structure, the Great Enclosure. Among these, the Great Enclosure is the most impressive. Its outer wall is over 250 meters long and 11 meters high. Inside stands a tall, conical tower, with no doors and no staircase. The tower's exact function remains a mystery. Some suggest it was a grain storage facility. Others believe it held symbolic meaning, representing the king's central authority within the kingdom. The core of the power structure was the hill complex, which contains the oldest structures. Much archaeological evidence suggests this area was once the site of ceremonies related to ancestors and deities. Artifacts discovered include pottery, terracotta fragments, the Zimbabwe bird sculptures, and ceremonial ornaments. The bird sculptures were considered the kingdom's sacred symbol, later becoming the national emblem of modern-day Zimbabwe. Great Zimbabwe's prosperity was intrinsically linked to trade. Its location lay between the routes connecting the Mozambique coast and the deep interior of southern Africa. Trade caravans transported gold, ivory, and iron to the coastal ports, where they were exchanged with merchants from Arabia, Persia, India, and China. Among the artifacts found at Great Zimbabwe are fragments of Chinese Ming Dynasty porcelain, glass from the Middle East, and Indian glass beads. This proves that their trade network extended far beyond Africa. During its zenith, from the 12th to the 15th century, the population of Great Zimbabwe may have reached between 18 and 20,000 people, a very large number for that time. This meant they had to maintain an efficient agricultural and livestock system. The Zimbabwean plateau naturally has a harsh climate with long dry seasons. The ancient people of Zimbabwe relied on cattle herding, growing millet and sorghum, and managing natural water resources. Small natural ponds were expanded with earthen dams, The surrounding land was divided into managed areas based on soil fertility. But like many other civilizations, prosperity was followed by decline. Around the 15th century, the population of Great Zimbabwe began to decrease. The reasons remain a subject of debate. One hypothesis suggests that excessive land exploitation and overherding led to environmental degradation of the surrounding area. Declining agricultural yields might have made it impossible to sustain a stable population. A second hypothesis relates to a shift in trade. As coastal routes changed and new ports emerged, Great Zimbabwe lost its intermediary advantage. This led to the weakening of an economy based on the exchange of luxury goods. Another hypothesis, less common but still studied, suggests that political instability in the region, the rise of the Mutapa kingdom, and internal power shifts may have caused residents to abandon the area. Remarkably, there are no signs of war or large-scale destruction at Great Zimbabwe. This indicates that the decline was gradual, not caused by invasion. During the colonial era, Great Zimbabwe became the victim of racist explanations. Some 19th century European explorers asserted that the indigenous people could not have built such a monument and attributed it to Middle Easterners or Phoenicians. These claims were not based on scientific evidence but stemmed from prejudice. Only in the 20th century did modern archaeology clearly prove that Great Zimbabwe was the work of the Shona people, the ancestors of the majority of present-day Zimbabwe's inhabitants. Today, Great Zimbabwe stands as crucial evidence of the development of statehood and construction technology in medieval Africa. It shows that social and technical complexity did not only emerge in major riverine civilizations but could develop independently in arid savanna regions. Great Zimbabwe also underscores the role of trade and resources in the formation of centers of power. Standing amidst the ancient stone walls, one can feel the sheer scale and precision with which people once organized their living space. There are no traces of Roman, Greek, or Arabic architecture. Great Zimbabwe is an entirely indigenous structure, a prime example of the creativity of African inhabitants in using local resources to build a sustainable center of power. I am Alex from Hidden Universe, where the hidden layers of humanity's secrets still await our discovery.